Picture this, a deserted Nevada highway, surrounded by mountains. Silence broken only by the howl of a 5-liter twin-turbo V8. And then, acceleration so violent it bends reality. This is not a test track. This is not a closed facility. This is a public road where the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. And a Swedish hypercar just hit 284.6. Welcome to November 4th, 2017. The day a Koenigsegg Agera RS made history with an average speed of 277.9 miles per hour and destroyed every production car record on Earth. This is Supercar Chronicles, and we're about to witness Swedish engineering insanity. Let's set the scene. Nevada State Route 160, 12 miles of perfectly straight highway outside Pahrump. Nevada Highway Patrol blocking both ends. Factory driver Nicholas Lilja behind the wheel. Christian von Koenigsegg himself watching from the side of the road. And one customer-owned Agera RS, painted silver, nicknamed Ruthie by her owner Mark Stidham, about to become the fastest production car in history. Now here's where it gets interesting. The previous record, 267.8 miles per hour, belonged to the Bugatti Veyron Supersport, set in 2010, on the Volkswagen Group's private test track in Germany. Controlled conditions, professional facility, every advantage imaginable. But Koenigsegg? They chose a public highway with gradients, wind, and exactly zero margin for error. And what nobody tells you is how close this day came to disaster instead of legend. If that doesn't scream Swedish confidence, I don't know what does. The rules are simple. 2 runs, 1 in each direction, within 1 hour. Average the speeds. Eliminate wind and gradient advantages. Guinness World Record format. Data verified by Race Logic with GPS timing equipment. But here's what nobody expected. On that uphill run, against a headwind, the Agera RS still hit 271.2 miles per hour. That's faster than Bugatti's peak speed from their controlled test. Let that sink in. So who builds a car capable of this madness? Meet Christian von Koenigsegg, a 22-year-old Swedish kid who watched a Norwegian stop-motion film about a bicycle repairman building a race car, and decided, I can do that. No engineering degree, no automotive background, no track record, just a dream and $200,000 he made selling. Wait for it. Frozen chicken and misprinted plastic bags to Estonia. I wish this was a movie script, but it's automotive history. Founded in 1994, Koenigsegg Automotive started in a rented factory space in Sweden. Christian famously sketched his first car in Microsoft Paint. Microsoft Paint. While Ferrari had centuries of racing heritage, while Lamborghini had Ferruccio's tractor fortune, Christian had Microsoft Paint and chicken money. Corporate decided this was a brilliant business plan, because apparently, Swedish optimism is a superpower. Fast forward to 2015. Koenigsegg unveils the Agera RS at the Geneva Motor Show. The RS stands for racing and street, because why choose one when you can have both? It combined the hardcore track focus of the 1.1 megacar with the everyday usability of the Agera R Translation, a car that can lap the Nürburgring and take your kids to school. Assuming your kids are very brave, or very insane. Let's talk numbers. 5.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8. 1,176 horsepower on regular pump gasoline. Not race fuel, not E85. Regular 91 octane that you buy at the gas station for $4 a gallon. For comparison, the Bugatti Veyron needed 16 cylinders and 4 turbos to make similar power. Koenigsegg did it with 8 cylinders and 2 turbos. Swedish efficiency meets Viking brutality. The engine, developed entirely in-house, is pure Swedish engineering brilliance. Twin ceramic-bearing turbochargers with Koenigsegg's proprietary boost control system eliminate lag and deliver instant throttle response. The rocket catalytic converter flows like there's no emissions regulations. Koenigsegg engineered every component for maximum efficiency. Intake and exhaust flow freely. And even with all this technology, the entire powertrain weighs less than most modern V6 engines. German engineers called their lawyers, then their therapists. But power means nothing without control. The Agera RS produces 450 kilograms of downforce at 250 kilometers per hour. That's 992 pounds pressing the car into the tarmac. Active aerodynamics adjust dynamically. Front winglets direct air. Side skirts manage flow. And an active rear spoiler deploys at speed. This isn't a car. It's an aircraft that forgot how to fly. The chassis? Full carbon fiber monocoque with aluminum honeycomb structure. Total weight, 1,395 kilograms. That's 3,075 pounds. The Bugatti Veyron weighed over 4,180. Koenigsegg built a car over 1,000 pounds lighter with comparable power. That's not engineering, that's witchcraft. And here's the kicker. Only 25 Agera RS units were ever built. 25. Ferrari makes more cars in a week, each one bespoke, each one unique, each one hand-built in a former Swedish Air Force hangar, inherited from the legendary Ghost Squadron fighter pilots. You're not just buying a hypercar. You're buying a piece of aviation history wrapped in carbon fiber. Now back to Nevada. November 4th, 2017. The Agera RS lines up for its first run. Niklas Lilja, factory test driver, professional racing driver, the man Koenigsegg trusts with multi-million-dollar machines, calmly straps in. Christian von Koenigsegg checks the telemetry. Mark Stidham, the owner, watches his silver hypercar about to attempt the impossible. The road ahead, 12 miles of Nevada asphalt. The goal, break Bugatti's 7-year record. Watch the onboard footage, it's absolutely mental. The car accelerates smoothly to 220 miles per hour. And Niklas hasn't even shifted into top gear yet. He's cruising at speeds that would terrify most drivers, like it's a Sunday drive. Then, at 220, he drops the hammer, full throttle in top gear, and the Agera RS launches, like someone lit the afterburner on a jet fighter. 230, 240, 250, the scenery becomes a blur. The 4-lane highway narrows to what looks like a bicycle path. 260, 270, and then 284.6 miles per hour on a public highway, with painted lines and road signs. This isn't a speed record. This is madness with GPS verification. But wait, it gets better. Remember those pesky Guinness rules? 2 runs, opposite directions? The return run was uphill with a headwind. Physics said, slow down. Aerodynamics said, good luck. But Niklas Lilja and the Agera RS said, watch this. 271.2 miles per hour. Uphill, into the wind. That uphill speed was faster than Bugatti's record peak. Let me repeat that. Koenigsegg's slower run beat Bugatti's best run. Average the 2 runs, 277.9 miles per hour. New production car land speed record on a public highway. But Koenigsegg wasn't done. On the same day, same car, they broke 4 more records. Fastest flying kilometer on a public road, 276.9 miles per hour. Fastest flying mile, 276.36. And the piste de resistance, 0 to 400 kilometers per hour and back to 0, in just 33.29 seconds. For context, the Bugatti Chiron, with 1,500 horsepower, needs 42 seconds to do the same, 0 to 248 miles per hour to 0 run. The Agera RS, with less power, did it in 33. That's 9 seconds faster. Bugatti's engineers watched the telemetry and immediately applied for new jobs, or therapy. Probably both. But here's what makes this truly insane. This wasn't a specially prepared factory car. This was a customer's car. Mark Stidham bought it, drove it, used it, then said, let's break some records. No special modifications, no factory secrets, no unlimited budget tuning. This was a production Agera RS, number 137 of 161 total Koenigseggs built at that time, doing what it was designed to do. Let that marinate for a moment. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Price. The Agera RS cost approximately $2.3 million when new. That's substantial, but consider what you get. The Bugatti Veyron Supersport cost $3 million. The Chiron cost $3.5 million. So Koenigsegg built a car that's faster, lighter, more exclusive, and cheaper than the competition. Swedish value meets Swedish engineering. And the interior? This isn't stripped-out track torture. Leather everything. Carbon fiber accents, climate control, navigation, a luggage compartment, and, my personal favorite, a removable hardtop that stores inside the front trunk. You can go top-down cruising at 200 miles per hour, because apparently, Swedish engineers have a sense of humor. The attention to detail is insane. Every carbon fiber component, over 300 pieces, hand-laid. The visible carbon weave, unidirectional perfection. The paint, multiple layers with depth you can fall into. Even the wheels are works of art. Hollow carbon fiber with center-locking nuts. Each wheel costs more than most people's cars. But when you're hitting 284 miles per hour, you want wheels that won't, explode. But the real magic? The technology. Koenigsegg developed a system called rocket catalytic converter, because apparently, normal catalytic converters are for normal cars. This one flows exhaust gases with minimal restriction while still passing emissions. They also pioneered air core carbon fiber, hollow carbon fiber that's lighter and stronger than solid, and the triplex suspension, three-way adjustable dampers that work on road and track. Fun fact, Koenigsegg's entire company has fewer than 800 employees. Ferrari has 4,000, Lamborghini has 2,000, but Koenigsegg, with their tiny team in a Swedish airplane hangar, just embarrassed the entire hypercar industry. And here's the beautiful irony. Christian von Koenigsegg, the man who started with frozen chicken money and Microsoft Paint, just beat the Volkswagen Group, the largest automotive conglomerate on Earth, with 12 brands, with unlimited resources, with centuries of combined heritage. Got beaten by a 22-year-old's childhood dream and Swedish stubbornness. This is David versus Goliath, except David brought a bazooka. Corporate decided that track testing was overrated, because public highways are more dramatic. But wait, there's more. Remember that record? 277.9 miles per hour? That record, as of today, still stands as the verified two-way production car record on a public road. Sure, SSC tried with the Tuatara, but their claim was disputed. The Bugatti Chiron Supersport hit 304 miles per hour, but that was one direction, not a verified two-way average. The Agera RS record, verified by Race Logic, witnessed by officials, captured on video, remains the benchmark. Think about that for a moment. Now let's talk about the insanity of doing this on a public road. Test tracks have safety barriers, runoff areas, medical teams on standby. Route 160 in Nevada. No runoff, no barriers, just desert, rocks, cacti, and a thin line of asphalt between history and tragedy. One mistake, one blown tire, one gust of wind, and you're not setting a record, you're becoming a crater. Nicholas Lilja had zero margin for error. This wasn't bravery, this was calculated madness. And the tires, Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, developed specifically for the Agera RS, but still street legal and based on the same compound you can buy at your local tire shop. Not specially developed race slicks, not temperature-controlled compounds, officially rated for 300 kilometers per hour, but pushed well beyond their certification at 284. Those tires, spinning at over 3,000 RPM, experiencing forces that would tear apart lesser rubber, just performed flawlessly. Michelin engineers watched the video and immediately gave themselves a raise. But here's what this record really means. It proved that a small company, with passion and innovation, can compete with automotive giants. That Swedish engineering, often overlooked in favor of German precision or Italian passion, deserves respect. That Christian von Koenigsegg's childhood dream, inspired by a stop-motion film about a bicycle mechanic, could create real-world magic. The Agera RS production ended in 2018. Only 25 units, each one now worth more than its original price. Collectors fight over them, auctions get violent. Because these aren't just hypercars, they're time capsules of the last era when internal combustion ruled supreme, before electric took over. Before regulations strangled innovation, before accountants killed the fun. And Christian von Koenigsegg, he's still at it. The company he founded at 22 now builds the Jesko, targeting over 300 miles per hour. The Gemera, a four-seater hybrid with 2,300 horsepower, and the CC850, with a transmission that can be manual or automatic at the push of a button. Swedish insanity continues. So, what's the lesson here? That records are made to be broken? That speed is addictive? That public highways make better test tracks than actual test tracks? No. The lesson is this: never underestimate a determined kid with a childhood dream and access to Microsoft Paint. Christian von Koenigsegg proved that passion beats resources, innovation beats heritage, and Swedish engineering, when properly motivated, beats everyone. The Agera RS, 277.9 miles per hour, on a public highway, not a test track, not a closed facility, a real road where mortals drive to work. 1,176 horsepower, 25 units, one childhood dream. This wasn't just a speed record. This was a middle finger to everyone who said it couldn't be done. This is Supercar Chronicles, and this is why we celebrate automotive insanity. But if you thought Swedish logic was insane, wait for Italian emotion. Next episode, Pagani Zonda, where Horatio Pagani turned carbon fiber and Mercedes V12 into a Renaissance painting on wheels. Manual transmission, naturally aspirated, pure analog insanity. Hit subscribe, because the Zonda story is even crazier. This is Supercar Chronicles. Don't be that guy who misses it.